Different conditions to the first day, and very different race conditions as well. The bottom 5 in these 3 races, the first 2 races are out, and then it's the big race for the final one. Trev, the third one.
Great conditions to race, probably a little bit more predictable because you can see what's coming your way, less chop. Here we have a look at the course, starting here on Smith's Beach, out to sea on the ski, furthest out because it's the fastest craft. Back into the beach, run leg, board, halfway out, and then back in for the swim. That's our Ironwoman race. That'll change each of the 3 times the order.
Yep, and here they are, we're ready to go. 2014 Kellogg's Nutri-Grain Ironman Series. Here are the Ironwomen. Courtney Hancock, of course, won the first. She was last year's champion. She's got the #1 on her, and she is going to be the competitor to beat.
Short course racing too now. In our first round, we saw that longer race, that endurance-based race. This is where you really expect to see Liz Plumas flying again, up there with Courtney Hancock. Expect to see Crystal Smith have a good race. And remember, in round 1, we had no ski leg. Now we've got the ski leg. So the stronger girls, the faster, more powerful ones, probably will feature. I've been proved wrong before.
We saw again, Trevor, at the start of that race then, Hannah Minogue ducked behind the back of the swimmers and took a different tack. Be interesting to see how Hannah plays out at the end of this swim, but it looks like Courtney Hancock out in front again with that terrific swim of hers.
How's that for a testimony to the change of conditions too from round 1? Because the swimmers were going to the left side of the field to try and get out in round 1, so they've obviously checked this out and thought there's a bit of water moving out to the right-hand side.
Yeah, it's more benign than it was for the first round, but there's still a decent chop out there, isn't there?
Oh, make no mistake, there's enough wave there to really make a difference in this thing. I think you'll notice the sets coming in about 7 or 8 minute intervals. I did have a little bit of a time of it. And so if you can time it to come in on a nice medium-sized wave and out on nothing, you're doing well. But what you don't want to do is a too big a wave on the way in or anything above medium on the way out.
There she is, Courtney Hancock leading the way.
Look at that 6-speed kick of hers. She is swimming so, and here she is. Look at that. That is beautiful body surfing right there. That 6-speed kick, turning the arm over, head down, straight as a board. She'll be kicking really, really, really hard here.
Slight weight on the fingertips there, so she's planing across her hands. And look at this wave from behind. What's that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh!
A couple of collisions there.
All aboard.
Somebody's gone down. Great body surfing. Here we go. That looks like Emma Dick waiting. And...
oh, Geordie Mercer straight over the top.
Oh, and Emma's still on that a little bit on the right there. She's done quite well, actually. Good effort. But back to the star at the moment, Courtney Hancock. Fantastic job of body surfing. The waves obviously died out on the edge there. She had great technique, so it must have run out. But she runs. Remember, this is a short course race. We don't want to be in that red zone and get eliminated. She's only got 2 more legs to get through, and this could be a comfortable race for her if she can set it up well right now.
Courtney in the #1. Some interesting pedigree here, because if you go back a generation, of course, Jordan Mercer is the daughter of Darren Mercer, and then a couple of rugby league connections, because Devon Halligan is Daryl Halligan, the mighty goal kicker for New Zealand's daughter, and Tara Coleman is Tugger's daughter, Craig Coleman. So, yep, the athleticism running in the family.
Nice to see a crossover of sports, isn't it? The Jack family's now playing in the AFL, and all this sort of stuff's going on. So great to see this athletic prowess come through in whatever sport they choose.
We see Becca Creedy up there. She is a renowned swimmer. She's had a great swim leg, and she's up there pushing Courtney Hancock along. So that's a great result. I think she's out in front now. Rebecca Creedy paddling extremely well on the board. Yeah,
Rebecca Creedy, of course, has competed for Australia at a Commonwealth Games, so you may remember her. All right, we are underway. This is the women's. How's it all going to pan out? Courtney Hancock, what a superstar. Welcome back to Channel 9's Wide World of Sports, and Courtney Hancock, it's a name that we've come to know and love in this sport. This is the Kellogg's Nutri-Grain Ironman Series, and we're watching the Ironwomen. 3 races here, the bottom 5 in the first 2 drop out, and that it is a race amongst just a few to see who wins.
This is a great little setup here for Rebecca Creedy. And back to Brodie Moyer here, sitting on the pink board, bright pink board. We see that quite regularly. Not sure where she is in the field, but she's obviously not at the leaders will know that pretty soon. But Courtney Hancock up on her knees now. These girls will be stoked to be out in front. There's so much energy saved when you're up the front of the pack. You're not panicking, you're not stressed. Everything's easier up the front.
We can see that a few of the tail markers, but here comes the wave now. I think we're going to get the 3 of them on. Maddie Dunn is coming down on that wave with Courtney and Rebecca Creedy. So these girls will be stoked with this wave. It'll give them a little bit of a buffer zone, a little bit of a chance to take a breath, get that heart rate down, and get ready for the final leg of this first race.
Kendrick, what do you make of conditions for round 2?
Yeah, it looks fun. You know, there's still a little wave. It's probably about 2 to 3 foot. The wind's just started to pick up now, and the girls are out there hitting it out. So I think, you know, by the time we race, in probably about an hour or so, I think the wind will pick up. Hopefully push a little bit more swell in.
You were a standout in the wild stuff in round 1. How different will your tactics be for round 2 in this?
I think round 1 was just, you know, the surf was up, so you just sort of go out there, you just concentrate on yourself and try not make any mistakes. You know, this round, the surf's a little bit smaller. I think the racing will be a lot more tighter, and I think it's one of those things you got to focus on yourself. If you get carried away with the other boys, your mind starts to drift, and then you start to make mistakes. So,
okay, Kendrick, thank you. Best of luck.
Thanks.
Good on you, Roz, and something that caught our eye as we were watching the current places, and there she is there, superstar of the sport, one of the big stars, Brodie Moyer, who's had a wobbly old start to the 2014 series, could be on the edge of the red zone here.
She's the current world champion, which is over this distance. So we're not talking about somebody who's not used to this format. As we see another wave come through, oh.
I think that was Amy Nerth, and she's gone upside down. Emma Dick has bumped off. Let's have a look. Tara Coleman's punched through. Yeah, Amy Nerthen's gone upside down. Emma Dick's just slid in too.
Well, here we go, on the right-hand side. There's Emma Dick rolling off. That's going to really set you back. That in a short course Ironwoman race, very, very hard to recover from here. Remembering we're looking at the tail of the field. That's the red zone. Yeah,
those waves in that first round were extraordinary. Quite a lot easier today, but easy is not quite the word you want to use, is it?
Here's Tara Coleman. We just saw that shot. She's punching through here. Oh, that's from the ski cam and rolls off. You don't want to see upside down from your ski cam, not at all.
It's Courtney Hancock out in front, looking nice and relaxed. Elizabeth Plumer's also looking nice and relaxed as well. They'll know they're safe here. They just got to turn around the can, get in nice and safe, and they should be able to do that.
A little bit of rain now to make things a little bit more difficult. And look, for them out in front, they're just going to cruise, and they'll cruise through to the next race. But there is a very interesting story. That Brodie Moyer story is an interesting one because she could be out of the day's racing within the next few minutes.
And she didn't have a very good result at all in round 1. All of a sudden, you're looking at not even re-qualifying for the series if you start getting back around 12th, things like that. She will want to get moving right now.
Just saw Jordan Mercer. I think she's up in a nice, comfortable place. But you can see Tara Coleman right back on the left there. And then the leaders there to your right-hand screen. The huge gap just with that one set that came through. It's made a huge difference to this race.
Reece, you would remember that feeling. How happy would you be in that front pack with a massive lead like that?
Oh, it's a huge relief. Huge relief that you're going to get through that first race and then you can get down to business. But here go the leaders. Elizabeth Plumer's nice and comfortable. Well, here we go again. It's the same sort of girls out in front again. It's they're setting the pace and the tone for the day.
Yeah, they'll get through. There's Elizabeth Plumer's and, of course, Courtney Hancock. Again, extraordinary as we see a wild ski go around. But Brodie Moyer, the world champion, the current world champion, could she be eliminated in this, the first of 3 races? It would be a real turn-up because she is one of the stars. As we see the leading athletes just cruise across the line.
In this wild beach, because we were talking about how beautiful the conditions were before. Now the wind's onshore, the rain's coming through, and it's totally changed on us. This is what makes it so amazing to race here. Courtney coming through, very comfortable. There's Harriet Brown. So she's sitting in that red zone as well. She's going to be sprinting to the beach unless she can get a wave away on the ski. Jordan Mercer will be comfortable with that. Brodie Moyer, our world champion, getting caught from behind Bonnie Hancock on a wave. This is going to come down to something special. I'm thinking 4 places here left.
There's Crystal Smith, and you had a real look of concern on Brodie Moyer's face, and this is going to be a sprint for the finish. There's 3 of them. Only 2 of these are going to get through. Of course, you can see Brodie there with the black cap. She looks like she's going to make it. Bit of argy-bargy. The arm goes out, the shoulder comes back, and she's just made it through. A boarding house scrape of butter, And Brodie Moyer is through to the next race, but you never would have thought it'd get that close. Trevor Hendy asks the official.
Yeah, did I get through? That you don't know at that particular point in time. So what a relief for her. She's into the next round. She can turn it all around in the next round if she's on a game.
Here we go through those that have got through and those eliminated. Harriet Brown gone, Bonnie Hancock no longer there, Emma Dick, Tara Coleman and Devon Halligan.
Well, congratulations, Maddie. Qualified through to the next race. You look very comfortable out there.
Yeah, it was a bit hard to get through it. Like, it was cold at the start because of the cold weather.
What's your plan of attack for race 2?
Just get out there, hopefully stay without in like the top 5, back 5, and make it through to the final. So hopefully that happens.
Well done, Maddie Dunn, safely through. There are athletes eliminated as we watch a few of those other craft out on the water here at Smiths Beach. Beautiful part of the world, the Margaret River. Race 2, Trev.
Here we go. The orders change slightly. The course is the same. Board, ski, swim. Once again, we're eliminating the last 5 of 11 in this field. It's getting pretty cutthroat. Liz Plume is off to a great start. She looked comfortable in the first round. They'll all be wanting to get in the front pack. No massive waves coming through today. Your best chances at the front of the field.
You could see the cold was playing a bit of a part too, Trevor. You could see how cold Maddie Dunn was, so it was be really important to try and stay warm, try and get into this race and find your groove nice and early.
There you're talking about staying warm, and she had to roll under back into the water. She goes. Reece, Maddie Dunn, pretty impressive. Hey, you'd see a bit of her on the Sunshine Coast?
Yeah, well, she was up on the Sun Coast last year. She's moved down to the Gold Coast this year to just for a change of scenery, I should say, and she's emerging. She's doing really, really well.
On the board here, it must be a real judgment call as you come up close to that wave as to whether to try to get over or whether to jump off and push through.
Yeah, and it's got to be a split-second decision too, Tim. You've got to make that decision. OK, I'm going to roll. OK, I'm going to pop. So it's a really has to be a quick decision, and sometimes it can be the wrong one and make a big difference.
Have a look at this. Alyssa Ball leading. She'd be loving this. She's actually getting another one of those stars on the rise, and right next to her was Amy Nervin. And then the one we're talking about, Brodie Moyer, the world champion and also world board paddling champion, I think. And up there right in front, those 3. So they'd be happy with that start.
It looked like Jordan Mercer and Beck Creedy at the back of the pack. That was, you know, from the first round. You wouldn't have expected that, but they're still fairly tightly bunched, and they'll be trying to pick up these little runners and get to that wave zone as quick as they can. You're
never too far away from a stray slipper in the head, are you? You must have caught a few.
That's what I was going to say. How often do you go to work and get kicked in the face? That's all part of a day's work for these Iron Women, and they take it in their stride too. But yeah, you do cop a few, and certainly when you're swimming, you cop a few sort of closed fist to the back of the head occasionally, but that's all part of it. Here we go. Look at this. This is bringing the whole field back together. Those first 3 won't be happy with this. There's 1, 2, 3, 4. No, it's turned out okay. 4 or 5 on that first wave.
Crystal Smith, again, up there at the front, taking control of this second race. Alyssa Bull hanging in there, Elizabeth Plumers, and that's better. Brodie Moyer up the front and Amy Nerfin. Brodie will be a lot happier with that.
There's not much you can do when you're just bobbing up and down like a duck, is there? Like, you're waiting for that wave.
Absolutely, but you know, how good a job with that. Those front few girls, because they're in front, they picked up the first wave. You've got to give yourself the best chance, but you can't make a difference. Courtney Hancock, look at that race. There she is, back there. She'll want to get a move on.
Look at the intensity of the running in these short course races. They're really sprinting around. They know how crucial it is to try and be up that front so they miss that bottom 5 cut.
Liz Permer's looking incredibly strong and balanced and calm there. Who are we looking back here? So Courtney's now in the red zone. She is in the back 5. So that's quite challenging. A fantastic ski paddler, though. Of course, we know she's a great Iron Woman, but she's got better and better on the ski the last couple of years. I would think she's going to make a move now.
You've got the little kids at the surf club come up to you and say, oh, can I have your autograph? And then it sort of does seem a bit real to say, yeah, I am an Iron Woman, but to me, in my head at this stage, it's not quite real.
Channel 9's Wide World of Sports, the Kellogg's Nutri-Grain Ironman series. We're in the middle of the Iron Women, and Alyssa Bull, Trev, when we were doing our research on the phone, you didn't mention much about her.
Yes, she's a bit of a power package. She's coming through. Look at this. There's some air. That's incredible. Look at that shot too, and that's really good ski control. That's very difficult to land on one of those and keep going. Well done, Alyssa Bull. She's got a big career ahead of her.
Well, Mother Nature is determined not to make it easy for the athletes here at Smiths Beach. What began as a beautiful day has turned pretty ugly. It's freezing in and out of the water. The wind has picked up and so has the swell, with some pretty solid waves now coming through and making it difficult for the women, as well as the rain making visibility quite tough. And I'm told this is incredibly hard for the Queenslanders in particular because they are used to warmer climates. The next leg is the swim, and then we will lose 5 more in the elimination round.
Thank you, Roz. Yeah, that's the way it works today. 3 races, and we're going to end up in that 3rd race with just a handful of competitors. And we saw Brodie Moyer go so close to being eliminated in that first round. I don't think she's going that well as we see her come in around this boy now. So a bit of work to do for Brodie.
Something's happened there because she came out in that lead pack in the board, and now here she is back there. Something's gone on that we haven't quite seen. So Brodie, probably benefit of the doubt for her, something's gone on there. But there we see the lead pack, Alyssa Bull, Elise Bennett, another star of the series that just keeps hanging around in there, never quite cracked it for a win, but an exceptional competitor, sitting in second. Be happy with that. Whoa, sideways, she wants to hold on here. And there's a handler ready to take over. Goggles in the hand, she'd be feeling pretty good about this.
One of the biggest moments of her career, you'd have to say, right at the moment, wouldn't you, Reece?
Yeah, look, she placed last year in a round up on the Sunshine Coast, so she's getting some good experience. Here we see Jordan Mercer flying around with Courtney Hancock's back in the game. She was back going into that ski leg, but she's back into it. Elise Bennett, Brodie Moyer throwing the goggles away, getting a little bit frustrated there.
It looks like a bit of a dirty day for Brodie, doesn't it? She's dropping back, throwing the goggles, all that sort of stuff, as they dive back in the water. So we'll have a look at this red zone as they go out. We'll start to see it a little bit more clearly. Not the massive swim waves that we've seen previously at Smiths Beach. So they're going to have to do a little bit of work to make sure they get through in this swim leg.
What a great lead she's got there too. That's a big lead. So she'd be feeling very comfortable at the moment. But here comes Courtney Hancock in that swim leg again. Gee, she swims well.
So it's a real individual thing to see whether you wear the goggles or not in the swim. We're watching some wear them, some not.
Yeah, absolutely. It's sort of half and half. A lot of the guys don't wear them. A lot of the guys do wear them. So, yeah, definitely much a personal choice.
And Kai Hurst, interestingly enough, never wears them. Greatest surf swimmer of all time, never wears them. But even if it's a long distance swim in an Ironman race, won't put them on. I think his idea is that you want to be able to see the waves and what they're doing.
Well, here we go. This is the end of the second race. There's a wave there, some falling off the back. A couple are going to catch it.
Whoa.
We've got Courtney Hancock.
Courtney Hancock and Liz Plumers again.
That is sensational. So she's made that move in the ski, come right through in the swim, picked up the wave. Here's the 2 of them. Let's see a bit of a form guide. Who's going to hold this the furthest?
Great body surfing again. The skills are unbelievable. That's awesome.
Still going.
Well, here they come up the beach, Liz Plumers and Courtney Hancock. They won't, they'll still run it out pretty hard, but they won't break land speed records because they know they've got another race to go. The real interest beyond what's happening up at the front is going to be in that red zone and who will drop off as we see more competitors come across. Where is Brodie Moyer?
That was another good swim from Maddie Dunn. She was back a little bit going into that swim leg, so she'll be happy with that. Crystal Smith, nice and comfortable. She's through to the next round as well.
Just saw a shot of Brodie Moyer. She's not going to make it, Trevor.
This is a big turn up for me. So Jordan Mercer's coming through now. We see Rebecca Creedy.
I think she may just miss out.
Rebecca Creedy's going to be out, and Brodie Moyer is out.
Gone.
There's the world champion over this distance gone. That's her series in tatters.
Dramatic scenes here at Smiths Beach, and there they are, the results in round 2. Courtney Hancock winning, Liz Plumers, Elisa Bull, Maddie Dunn, Crystal Smith and Jordan Mercer, and they will compete for the win. All those others are gone.
That'll be their places for this round, 7, 8, 9, 10 and 11.
Creedy, Moyer, Minogue, Bennett and Nerthen. There's Courtney Hancock, one of the superstars of this event, looking $1 million both in and out of the water. Yep, I think we all enjoy getting a snapper or a brim or a mullet on the line as we look at the athletes preparing, those commiserating.
Brodie Moyer, a little hug there, won't be feeling so good, and she really does take this very seriously. So dark day for Broads.
All right, we are down to just a few. There's 6 competitors to see who will win round 2 of the Kellogg's Nutri-Grain Ironwoman series.
Away we go. So race 3, ski swim board, slightly different order again. Final, of course, no one eliminated. Where they finish is their place for the round. Big chance for some big bickies here in their prize money, but also big points towards the series. Oh,
wow.
Straight away off the start, Liz Plumas, and not looking so happy about it either. Of course you wouldn't be, but Courtney Hancock's away.
Here we go, look at this. Getting tangled up. Oh, is that... Not even sure who came across there, but it was one big tangle, that's for sure.
It's hard to even explain what happened just then.
And Courtney was talking about her love of glamour, and when we look at her ski again, there it is. She's got that lovely gold at the front. It's got that little bit of glamorous edge to it.
And look, right now we could be seeing something. For Courtney Hancock to get a start, and Liz Plume is probably the hottest chaser in the field, to be back there that little bit of distance, this could make the difference at the end of the race. We might be seeing the gap right now, but right on her tail is Crystal Smith, and we know she wants to come back and do very, very well. She'll be looking for a win pretty soon in the series.
Well, it's so crucial this first leg too, to get out to that strong start, get that momentum, and just try and go on with it. All the girls would be hurting now. This third race, you're really feeling it. So this is a great start for Courtney. She'll be stoked. Here comes Crystal Smith on a wave.
Crystal Smith on a wave, yeah, catches that beautifully. Smith's Beach in the Margaret River, and the determined look of Crystal Smith.
It's good surfing there.
One of her big rivals, Courtney Hancock, over the other side of the wave.
That's the big question. Can Crystal Smith win it on Smith's Beach? She missed a chance in round 1. Here we go. So the final 4.
We've got one.
So yeah, sorry, I apologise. 2 sideways. Jordan Mercer.
Maddie Dunn's fallen off.
2 of our young guns and brightest of the young guns. That's not good for them in a 3-leg race.
Well, here they are, Crystal Smith and Courtney Hancock, and we'll see how this all wraps up in just a tick. Kellogg's Nutri-Grain Ironman series. Wow, good to have your company. Courtney Hancock there, and we are riding him home here. Crystal Smith and Courtney Hancock, 2 great rivals. Crystal had taken some time off.
Come home from a good little trip sojourn overseas. As we look at them running back out to the water here, swim leg, no craft to carry. They get to choose. They can run a little bit further if they want because there's nothing to carry. But they chose to go about 10 metres to the right. I'm imagining, if you look at it, there's a little bit of blue water moving out there, probably a little undertow, and they're trying to tap right into that.
One thing I noticed as we see Maddie Dunn run around, Courtney Hancock on that run around, she had her teeth gritted and she had this look in her eyes. She's really going to put the pressure on in this swim leg. She is very determined today.
And one thing that we saw Courtney Hancock do beautifully before was when she's on a wave, she rides it to its proper conclusion, doesn't she? She just takes it right to the edge.
Yeah, it's just that determination, that will to win. She does everything she can to get that little edge, and taking that extra stroke or holding your breath for that little bit longer, Courtney does it. And as we're seeing here, she's just swimming so good this year. She's actually starting to swim away from Crystal here.
What an incredible job. That's actually Liz that's moved right up into 2nd place. She's done an amazing transition wade out through the break. But even though she's moved that fast, Courtney's actually taken the lead. Is this a wave?
Here we go.
Here it comes, Courtney Hancock. We just mentioned it.
That is unbelievable.
Has she got a board there? That's extraordinary. Courtney Hancock, and she keeps going.
Head down, there's the streamline we've talked about so often. Head down, shoulders tucked in tight so no water's hitting those shoulders. And look at that hands just skimming across. That's perfect body surfing for the kids at home. Look at that. That is a piece of mastercraft. Courtney Hancock.
That's extraordinary. Courtney Hancock. Wow.
Look at it here. There's that big 6-beat kick coming in. Elizabeth Plume has just dropped off it, but look at that. She's body surfed so well this season.
And right there you see, she gets over, but she holds herself at the top for a moment, so she gets the run down just in front of the whitewater. She's sitting in it, and she times putting her head down, 3, 2, 1, and she'll put the head down, get a breath right in front there. And she pretty much kept it down. She gets the odd breath and gets it back down.
Yeah, just for the average body surfer on a weekend, everyone knows how much fun that is as well. So after all the hard work, she gets a nice little ride all the way to the beach and has put quite a gap between herself and Liz Plumer's pretty cranky there as she throws her hat down. She's not happy she missed that wave. Let's get down to Roz. Roz has got something for us.
Courtney Hancock and Crystal Smith are really raising the bar in this one, aren't they?
Absolutely. Look, you know, I've just relocated clubs this year to Northcliffe, and I get to train with these girls every day, and I believe it's definitely going to help improve my racing, and yeah, it's great to see my teammates going so well.
I think Courtney, she's leading the board with Crystal behind her. Who are you backing to win?
Look, I think Courtney's pretty good when she's out in front, and it's definitely a positive racing from the front. It's easy once you're out there, and you get to enjoy it a little bit more, and then the pain just seems to disappear.
There's still plenty of rounds to go. Best of luck for Rebecca.
Thank you very much.
Thanks, Roz. Thanks, Rebecca. And there are the current placings. Hancock, Smith, Plumer's, Dunn, Bull, and in sixth position right at the moment, young Jordan Mercer. And there's Crystal Smith. We're on board with Crystal. Extraordinary part of the world, isn't it? Absolutely beautiful. We've got the township of Bustleton not far away, Margaret River, where you can get on the water, you can play beautiful golf, you can have a sip of a nice glass of wine, if that should be your fancy, Trevor.
And don't mind the old glass of red wine. Margaret River, renowned for its whites. But here we go. Courtney Hancock has stroked onto a nice little swell. Perfect size. This has been a bit of a masterclass, this race. Incredible race. Courtney Hancock, this is so big for her. This is 2 rounds in a row. If she can get to the beach now, she's out to a 2-round lead. Incredible result. What a great shot.
She's very, very happy with that. Again, she's just stamped a class on this. She's got time to give her dad a hug. Awesome effort, Courtney. Fantastic.
Courtney Hancock giving dad a hug, throwing the arms in the air. We saw the glamorous side to her before. This is the competitor, and the show person gives the boyfriend a little peck, and away she goes. Courtney Hancock, she is the princess of Western Australia. She's won at Smith's Beach in the last round. She's won today and done it in emphatic fashion. There she goes.
Interesting race here for second. Here we go.
Yeah, here we have. We've got Liz Plumers, her good friend Crystal Smith, and
Maddie Dunn.
Here it is. Look at the determination on young Maddie Dunn against these 2 senior competitors, and she'll do it. It's Dunn, Smith, Plumers, second, third, fourth.
What a fantastic result for Maddie Dunn. We've been watching her for a while. She is really almost the 4th big name in the sport, isn't she, Reece? She's getting better and better.
Yeah, that's an outstanding result for young Maddie. She'll be stoked, the young girl. She did a great swim leg, put herself back in the picture, and out-sprint those 2 experienced girls. That's awesome.
There it is, round 2. Courtney Hancock, Maddie Dunn, Crystal Smith, Liz Plumers, Elisa Bull, and Jordan Mercer.
Looking down the field there, as we said before, Brodie Moy won't be happy with that. Rebecca Creedy not too bad. Elise Bennett, Amy Nerthen, Harriet Brown in that finish in first round, eliminated early.
Yeah, and of course Bonnie Hancock, Emma Dick, Tara Coleman and Devon Halligan round up our competitors. Round 2 of the Kellogg Nutri-Grain Ironwoman series.
Courtney, an absolutely dominant performance to back up round 1.
Yeah, I can't believe it. Absolutely perfect start. I definitely didn't expect this today. I just really wanted to, you know, get through the first 2 rounds, get to the bottom 6, and then go from there. And yeah, had a bit of a shocking start just then, and able to come back. And yeah, really happy I could come across that finish line.
Courtney, congratulations, and I'll see you in Newcastle.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thanks, Roz. Courtney Hancock, how does she do it?
Well, that's a good question, Corbin, but this year, I definitely think it's a swim leg. Her swimming has just been superb these first 2 rounds. She seems to have taken it to another level. She's really jumped up and she's taken it to the girls in that swim leg. And her surf skills too, that body surfing in that final race, and mate, that was magnificent. It was awesome to watch.
Obviously, she's the #1. Can anyone in the field catch her this year? What are they going to have to do?
Yeah, look, it's early days. It's only 2 rounds down. She has been dominant in it, but those girls are still there. They're still in contention. Liz Plumers, Crystal Smith, and now Maddie Dunn. There's still a chance, but they're going to have to really work hard for the next round to try and catch Courtney. She's definitely been outstanding.
Aren't they what? She's unstoppable. The Ironman series is coming up next, and a big congratulations to Courtney Hancock.